Here's another edition of borderline alienation happening real time. Borderline with the personality disorder, symptoms looking like that, and then alienation because that's what it is. Then I put them together because many times when you tell people what you're going through, they're like, well, that's kind of borderline, I think. She's really not trying to do that. He's really not trying to do that. But if they don't know the full backstory, they would have that mindset. Nonetheless, Hurricane Milton happens. The next day, I don't have any power, and there's nothing wrong with having your kiddos with you when the power goes out. As a matter of fact, it's happened in 2017. Right after my daughter was born, we had a hurricane, perfectly fine. But I said, you know what, in the best interest of my kiddos and for their comfort, I'm going to wait a day. I'm pretty sure the power is going to come back on tomorrow. I'll pick them up Saturday instead of Friday. Let the mom know. And then when I try to reschedule and or try to pick them up on Saturday, I say, hey, police station 3:30 because I know you got Jose whatever. She's got paramours there. She lives a different lifestyle now. That's on her. Do what you want, but leave the kids out of it. So I go to the police station. She's refusing to hand them over. And once again, it's a smokescreen. When you're dealing with people that have these traits, and it is impossible for this to simply just be psychological. This is very spiritual. The way that I approach this is spiritual. You will never hear me name call someone or focus on them like they're some evil narcissist. Like, grow. If that's you, you got to grow, you got to heal, and you got to grow up. These people are tormented individuals, and how you allow them to torment you is completely, once again, it's how you allow them to do it. Nonetheless, I'm going to pick up my kids, and she refuses to show up. I'm at the police station because that's where we do our exchanges when she's got someone else there trying to instigate and cause fights. Refuses to show up. I wait, then I drive to the residence. Keep in mind, Hurricane Milton is going on and people are acting a fool. Lights are out, so the police department is tapped thin. It's really hard to get an officer to stand in, keep the peace. And I understand that. I relay that to the dispatch as well as the sergeant when I speak to him. It's like I need a report showing that this person is not compliant with what we're supposed to be doing. I drive past the residence. I'm like, hey, where are you? Like, your dad's vehicle's in the driveway, but the kids aren't. I'm like, where are the kids? Where are you? Did you flee the residence? And there's all of this back and forth saying, no, I'm not doing this. The kids are with me. I'm concerned about housing and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's a hurricane. And in my spirit, I sense this reminds me of the last time when she was lying and she was somewhere else pretending to be in the country, pretending to be with the kids. Nonetheless, stay calm. I'm warring in the spirit, praying about it. You cannot let this type of person or individual get you all, because they operate and live in that room. That's where they're comfortable. That's where they get peace. My kid's mom grew up in a very dysfunctional, abusive household, and that's not me saying it. That's her and her sister saying it. That's me sitting with them for over 10 years, being the brother from Detroit, like, hey, you could do that crap with them, but not with me. You could do that crap with them, but not with me and my family. So nonetheless, I'll tell you, I think I've gotten into the story in some other videos on how she kind of made this switch from baptized 30 seconds before me into all types of witchcraft, crystals, all that foolishness. Completely different person now. Whatever. Focusing on the borderline alienation with the kiddos. So I call my daughter on her original iPad account or Google Meet account, and I get to learn some interesting things. So I'm going to let you see this and take a listen as well. Bear with me. I'm going to have a few spots to actually key up on, but I want you to kind of see the beginning.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Daddy.
You doing okay?
Yes.
I tried to come and get you the other day, kiddo.
See the baby?
I do. I remember that baby.
Now, I apologize for the audio being low. I'll work on that. But I'm telling you, hey, I tried to get you the other day because I know that she's being told, hey, your dad's not here. He doesn't want to come. Your dad does it. The children tell me, unfortunately, all the horrible things their mothers say. I don't say anything about their mom, nothing bad. I may say, hey, do you think that's true? What does your experience say? But when they're with me, their mom doesn't exist. And I don't mean like in a bad way, just we never talk about her. We just enjoy our time together. That's what's important when you're with your kiddos. But you see here, I'm talking to my daughter. My son is there as well. Let's continue.
Is that the one your grandfather got you, or this?
What?
Hey, Josiah.
What did I do? You put your thumb in here. Ew.
Those are just my kiddos, beautiful
Daddy.
kiddos. For the sake of time, I'm going to move forward to about 6 minutes and 34 seconds into our conversation. Let's go here. And the cool thing is, what you're about to hear right here, God reveals all, allows the truth to come out in time. He who rolls a stone will have it rolled back on him. Let's go.
There is a charger station
Okay. I love you both very, very
that
much.
the iPads could charge and phones.
What you do yesterday, kiddos?
Here it comes. What'd you do yesterday, kiddos? I'm not trying to pry and get them in any trouble because I know they can get in trouble with their mom. But I want to say or see for the sake of this video, hey, what did you do yesterday? Because I came for you. I didn't say that part, but I said what you do yesterday. Check it out.
Um, we're just me yesterday. Baba took us to the store.
Backstory: Baba and Diado are her maternal grandparents. That's just the way that they call them in the language that they speak from Eastern Europe. Continuing.
Did you go to a playground?
Because mommy and Jose are going to see Isa
Uh
in
huh.
Puerto Rico.
Bam. I'm gonna show you later. So their mother isn't even in the country. Yes, Puerto Rico is U.S. territory. It's a territory. It is not a state. I'm not trying to be funny, but Puerto Rico used to be its own country if you actually look at the history. Nonetheless, their mother's not in the country. Why the heck wouldn't you just work together and coordinate to, oh, kids, stay with your dad. Kids, stay with your dad for the hurricane, for this time, for whatever time. But instead, she's got her parents who are also enabling, very toxic, very dark. They're from this communist third world country. That's how they grew up. So they've got this clandestine mindset of no matter what, stick together. And I told them to their faces, as well as their daughter, that my kid's mom years ago, I'm like, you know what? I'm concerned because I think if your dad came home with a dead body and he told your mom to help him pick it up and bury it, she would look surprised and then help him. Like, like you guys are sick. I didn't say that to them, but they know that. Nonetheless, let's keep going.
That makes sense.
What do you have? My turn. I feel I'm not even done drawing. But I only got to draw a little bit. You're doing
Okay.
okay.
I'm
Take
just hanging
turns.
out with
Take
my
turns.
kiddos. They're drawing stuff. I'm guessing what they're drawing. We're trying to enjoy our time together. What you may not recognize is I understand my kids and their facial expressions. When my daughter looks like that, she's just, I'm tired of it. I'm
We're
tired of
agreeing,
it.
kiddos.
I don't feel like it.
Stop just that.
And then they also
Let
both
me
kind of fight
draw.
for attention
Finish
sometimes
drawing.
because they haven't been able to see me in a
I
couple of
already
days.
erased it.
Mind you, there's 3 iPads in the household. There's no reason they can't see me. And this one that she's on now just happens to be the one that I
What are you
got for
drawing
her
now?
through Apple a Day charity when she first got diagnosed with leukemia.
No.
Beautiful, intelligent children. Let's go to the next spot.
Yeah.
940, just to show that my kids are not liars. They are very truthful individuals. You're going to get to hear Baba's voice, their grandmother's voice.
Aviana, can I draw now?
Just saw your juice will fall on the floor.
No, I
Just
won't.
put this on the table, please. Good boy.
I'm calling to see and talk to my kids. And this is when I learned from the beginning of the video, but I get to see here and hear here. Oh, mom's not even here. Guess who is here? Baba's here. I think I took another note. Baba and Diado is here. So both of the grandparents are there. And my son says, no, he's not here. He's at Baba's house. If you don't know the backstory, which you shouldn't, I haven't disclosed it. The grandma and the grandfather, they really don't get along. They sleep in separate bedrooms, have done so for over 20 years. And they tried to tell me, oh, it's just because he snores. I'm like, you full of crap. Like, you, come on now. Like, if anybody has the slightest bit of discernment, you can see the dysfunctional, not even function that goes on there. Nonetheless, this is about my kids, but this is my reasoning and my concerning, or why my concerns are so high with where the children are left and who they're left with, and trying to keep them in healthy environments with healthy people.
Aviana, can I draw something?
Bless you.
I knew you were
Kiddo,
gonna sneeze
Aviana,
in.
can I draw something now?
Okay. Now let's move ahead for the sake of time. 10-minute spot. It's coming up pretty soon. You'll get to see their
Hold on.
grandmother
She's
kind
gonna
of
let you
flash
do
in
it,
the
but you gotta take
background.
turns since there's only one.
Very quick. She's wearing the striped outfit. Let's see here. Go for it to 11:03. What else do we have there?
The other part of the mouth.
What did you do
And
today,
your
kiddo?
skull.
What did you do today, kiddos? What I said.
Did you go outside and play?
No, we didn't go to the playground.
But did you go outside and play?
But no. Baba said we were gonna go to a playground, but we didn't.
So you're just hanging out with your grandma today?
And Jado.
Oh,
Yeah.
and your grandfather.
Well, he went to work, Aviana. Well, he's not working. He's still at Baba's and Dado's house.
So the children are well aware. My son said, "Oh, he's working," or one of them said he's working. The other one's like, "No, he's not working. He's still just over there." They really don't get along, but for whatever reason, I think it's the spirit of shame that's on them, that they refuse to just be truthful and honest about their junk and get some help. They're very afraid of it. I remember that my kid's mom told me when we were together that they had gone to counseling before something had happened, and the whole consensus was you better not tell them the truth. Like you're going to counseling. Maybe CPS was called on them or something, because I would think if you paid money to go to counseling, you want to get something fixed and see another insight into your behaviors. But there's this mindset of let's keep everything secretive. Like people already know the truth. They may not tell you. Like if your breath stank, if your underarm stank, I promise you, people smell it, right? We just don't tell people, you are funky. We just try to breathe in another direction when they exhale, you know? So my kids, they are very keen, as all kids are, and they've picked up on the subtleties and subtle dynamics between their grandfather and grandmother's relationship. But she said Bob and Diallo are there. One of them's not there at the moment, but that's who's watching over the kids, the grandparents. And this is why the mother doesn't want me there, because I could easily say, hey, give me my kids. I have the parental rights to have my kids, especially while you're out of the country messing with one of your paramours and his kid. Let's see here. Let's move to the 14-minute mark. This is a day in my life. Thankfully, I was able to get through today.
I love you very much. I called you yesterday too.
I didn't hear.
It's gonna be okay.
You play Roblox with me?
Are you gonna play Roblox with your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
There's two play games.
I love you very much.
Because,
I will see you very soon, Aviana Josiah.
Daddy, we
Yes,
used to play games because it used to be Isa and Aviana, but now it's Isa and Aviana and me.
So my son is disclosing the name of the paramour's child that was there with them. Their mother says that he doesn't live there. He's staying nights. Anyway, because she told the judge that, and it's a lie. But when you're dealing with this spirit, like you're not dealing with just one thing. You're dealing with a lying spirit. You're dealing with a shame spirit. You're dealing with an adultery spirit. You're dealing with so much there wrapped into one package. But I told my kiddos, I think I missed the spot maybe a few minutes before the mark. Say, hey, you can always call me at any time. That's how our relationship has always been. Before, their mother would hold the iPad, lock it up, and now has the fingerprint method of unlocking it. She refuses to allow them to have a passcode. But the iPad that I gave to my daughter, here's the beauty of it. Like when you work evil and schemes, I'm pretty sure her grandparents don't know she's not allowed to have that iPad. The iPad that she has now, they've always seen, oh, their mom doesn't tell, or my kid's mom doesn't tell her mom, hey, lock him out. Make sure that this is blocked. Don't let Aviana get the iPad. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't let her call anybody. Don't let her receive calls. That iPad that I have set up for her has the parental whatever features on it that are necessary, and it's to my account, and I've locked it so that she can't change any of the settings anymore like she's done in the past. So my daughter can always make a call on that iPad, especially I believe for emergency purposes. Children should know how to be able to contact law enforcement authorities or get help for anything. Let's move forward here. Go to my 16-minute mark. You can see the grandmother make a cameo a little bit better. Just to prove once again, my kids are telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. And one of the ways I realized that I had become, and I'm not saying I am because I refuse that title, but I had been a victim of what is domestic violence from the emotional, mental, and financial positions, is that I wanted desperately for people to know my story and believe me. Not not the whole way through. 2 years, I kept my mouth shut. But when I'm telling people about what's going on, it's like, this is real. I'm going through this. I've been going through this. And when people started to see, recognize, and acknowledge, yep, I saw that. I see that. I believe you. From counselors to other people from outside looking in, then it just felt like this weight was off. It's like, I'm not a liar. Like I didn't wasn't raised that way. I will tell you the truth, even if it's seemingly to my detriment. Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth because I believe in that, and I believe God holds me accountable. Now, if somebody were to say, hey, are you hiding Jews in here? Of course, I'm going to lie to preserve their lives. But I'm not talking about that type of lying. Let's go.
Tongue which rises against us in judgment shall condemn. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Praying for my kids. Cover
Pray
their
over your
Daddy,
food too. Yes.
um, when I was in timeout and I just woke up, I prayed.
God is with you, kiddo. Hang in there.
Well,
All of us.
oh. Jose, Daddy, do you know why I?
Poor kid is so used to having this guy Jose around him so much they got to switch. He's like, Jose, Daddy, because their mom has told them, hey, I want Jose to be your dad. I want to marry Jose. I want to do this. Your dad is awful. And it's sick and it's sad at the same time because the same toxic things that her mother did and said to her with her and her twin sister, now she's gone into this dark spiral and has become not just only the darkest version of herself, but she's become a darker version of her mom and dad with sister sprinkles on top. My children are fighting, and I keep reminding them, keep praying. Remember, God answered this prayer. Remember, God answered this prayer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang in there. It's going to happen, and it's going to change.
Not loud, like my normal voice, because I couldn't talk in timeout.
Oh, really?
We can't talk in timeout.
I've got really, really awesome kids. For the most part, I don't ever see a reason why they need timeout, but I do know that their mother, and put it this way, if you cannot love 50% of your child, you're going to hate the moments when their other half shows up in them. If they think a certain way, speak a certain way, they're not bad kids at all. Many people compliment me from the time that they were itty bitties to now. Wow, your children are so well behaved. With me, they are. With their mom, they would hit her, they would run and scream and kick her. Like, clearly something's off. But you've got these people putting them in timeout and just being overbearing to them. And I'm not saying it from the sense of, oh, well, you're just being dad. You don't know. Like, I know these individuals. They're very unhealthy towards me. They're going to be nasty towards my kids as well. And you got someone going into timeout. If and when I have to discipline my children, we're doing physical activities, maybe wall sits, push-up position, things that actually help them get stronger. My daughter's had atrophy of her legs. As a matter of fact, my son used to be this kid that would climb anything, and I can see when his weight decreases from appetite, not wanting the food that they have, or he's a very picky eater just like his mom. But if his mom doesn't know herself, then it's gonna create tension and conflict. Just do what I say. My kiddos, nonetheless, getting back to what I'm saying, my kiddos are fully aware of what's going on. And when they get disciplined by me, it's because they haven't listened like all day, or something really, really, really egregious happened. But that's far and few in between. I rarely ever have to discipline my kiddos. But when I talk to them, they're Josiah especially. He's always getting timeouts, and it's like, what are you getting timeouts for? Like, what are you really doing? How bad can this 5-year-old child be? You know. But that's all I really have for that. Pray with my kiddos. Let them know I love them very much, and they can always contact me. Now I'm going to show you the proof of their mom lying in Talking Parents. This is why you need to have an app like Talking Parents with someone that constantly lies and changes their story and then says, no, you don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. I lived that life for many, many years, maybe over 10 years. Check this out. Hold on. So here we go inside of Talking Parents. Start off the day. Children's Exchange, 10/12/2024. I just put this for my documentation's sake so I can easily get back to it. I let her know I'm going to be picking up the kids today. Have the children here by 3 p.m. Why are we speaking this way? So I've learned not only when you're dealing with people that are of this spirit and this mindset, when you're dealing with anybody that's high conflict, even if they're considered like you're giving a directive as a police officer to somebody who is a threat. They don't say, would you please stop? Put your hands above your head, please. No, you have to execute authority. So God has given them authority as police officers, as those appointed by him to judge man, in a sense. And then God has given us a spiritual authority as well. So when we start talking to somebody who is under the sway of the wicked one, under the sway of demonic, under the sway of something toxic and unhealthy spiritually, I've learned you can't give the ambiguous answers. You can't give multiple solutions. You give directives. Hey, I'm coming to pick up the kids. Be there by 3 o'clock and make sure you have everything ready. Have this ready. Don't withhold anything. Their mom has done that many times. Withholding medications. We'll take out medications from the bottle and leave 1 or 2 in there just to try to make me have to come back to get it or go to the hospital to get more. And we'll say, well, you can go buy an emergency supply. That's not what that's used for, silly. Oh, it's an over-counter medication, so you can go buy some more. It's like, this is for our child. That's stupid. Like when I refill the Claritin for her, I don't hold and siphon it all on my side or the Pepsi. I give it so that it can all travel with her. So we got here, hey, I'm going to be picking up Aviana and Josiah. Have the children ready by this time. Deflection, smoke screen. What address? I'm like, first of all, don't need to know, none of your business, especially because of what you've done in the past. Sending people my way, as well as being hostile and making threats, her paramours. She knows the address that I'm at. That has already been disclosed. It's on the court documents, but we're playing a game here. I'm not going to give her that. Play your game, whatever. That's a smokescreen. I need to make sure the power is on, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that ain't none of your business. And I know some of you might say, yes, it is, as a mom. Hold up, because if we flip the switch and make that person a man talking to a woman, you're going to have some different feelings. If we just went through a hurricane and the power goes out, does CPS go into every home with children and take them out? No. No. I had disclosed on Friday, hey, there's no power. I think it'll be best for them to hang out there for a little bit for comfort's sake, because I had called them on the iPad and saw they were in a place with power and Wi-Fi. Okay. Not only can you stay in a home with no power with your children and it still be lawful because of a hurricane, you can also have alternative means for taking care of their comfort. You can go stay with friends that have power. You can go get a hotel that has power. You can use a generator. I've disclosed none of the options, and nor do I have to, nor do you have to, unless there's some weird court order saying such with your setup. So let's go here. You don't need to make sure of anything. Hey, I'm not playing games. I'm just being direct. 3 p.m., be at the police station today at this time. So she can't say, which is done in the past, oh, I didn't know you meant this day. I absolutely mean this day. Be very, very direct and to the point as much as possible. And then all of this other stuff, fluff, 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 fluff. Nobody has to disclose to you every little thing. You got a lady here who goes out of the country, takes your children around people she shouldn't have them around, does whatever she wants without any disclosure towards the other half, 50% half parent, and yet demands all of this subservient behavior. And I recognize it when you start learning about different mental health situations as well as personality disorders. Everything starts to click with this type of person. And I'm not talking about just this one individual, my kid's mom. I'm looking across the board at all of the stories that the majority, they're guys, are having with these ladies. These women that are, whether they were exes or just girlfriends. This is something that's very unhealthy, and it is not the standard response. Not all women do this. Not all men do this, but for my sake, talking about my situation, I'm highlighting the moms. Hey, I'm waiting at the Largo Police Department. You have no authority to withhold the children. Once again, as direct as possible, unless Holy Spirit nudges me otherwise. This is how we approach this and fight properly. I've already spoken with my attorney. I don't give two farts who you spoke with. You don't have the authority to do this, whether in the natural or in the spirit. Our kids will be with me this weekend. I love it. I love it. I love it because when you walk with the Holy Spirit and you don't fret, you don't get flustered, He lines everything up for your benefit. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. I love this lie right here. Our kids will be with me this weekend, and we've just been able to prove mommy's not even in the country. She's not even in the state of Florida. I'm just leaving breadcrumbs here, not only for the viewers, but also for the judge. Here are the breadcrumbs here. Like I've been telling you the truth from the beginning. She wanted all the money, the house, the whatever. Okay. Right to first refusal and access to the children for both parents. That's it. No, I refuse that. Everybody was like, huh? She said no? Well, you got to be a complete moron to do that. For redundancy, blah, 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 blah. The kids are staying. Nope. I tried to do a video call also. She denied the video call. She talks about her attorney. Like, nobody cares about your attorney. Her attorney has got issues with her own dad, too, from the way that I can see it, from the things that she's disclosed. And anybody that goes against a dad like this, you cannot have a healthy relationship with your own father or have had one growing up. To deny the father-daughter bond is to show that you had something going on with your own father-daughter bond. But nonetheless, all of these things, I don't care. I don't care what your attorney says on a Saturday afternoon after a hurricane. I'm letting you know that's a violation. You don't have any say in the matter. Like her attorney doesn't. Like your attorney just represents you. But thank you for telling me that your attorney has just told you once again to do something in violation of my parental rights. That's actually a violation of the Florida bar, just this conduct. She told my son Josiah's school once, hey, don't let the dad pick him up. And she didn't understand that her emails to the school is actually public record, so I got them. It's like, oh, here you go. And they're telling you, as you know, Ms. Balarjan, you're not in any position to restrict his rights, nor are we without any court order. Shut it down. Nonetheless, my child got taken out of that school by their mother. Oh, my child got taken out of that school by his mother. The judge knows that Jose is her boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I'm just pointing out you lied to the judge. And you can't have a boyfriend when you're still legally married. Matter of fact, you can't be engaged with multiple men while you're still being married and call it a boyfriend. It's called a paramour. If anything, you can call it a mistress and a mistress when you're a guy. Or mistress, mistresses. I never left the country. Yes, you did. They like to play games. Let's see here. And then I go with Proverbs 26:27. That's when God gave me the notion here. All right, you talked enough. Now let me talk. Bam. Once again, we will all stand before God to be judged. And he's looking right now. And here's the verse, basically saying whoever rolls a stone will have it roll back on them. Whoever sets up a trap or a snare, they're going to fall into it themselves. And this is what we're seeing over and over, not just in her case, but in the cases of all of these people that are doing the right thing and are trusting in God. They're not responding hostile in any way. And they're just trying to be the best parent they could be. And I'm in front of the residents now. So, hey, it appears you have fled the Largo residence. I don't see why my picture didn't show. I took a picture here, tried to add it. Maybe it didn't load properly. But her dad's white van is in there. This sent twice. That was probably when I was trying to send the picture. It was like, hey, your father's vehicle's in the driveway. Where are the children? Once again, I don't care about her. Where are the children? Our housing concerns unilateral. Remember, she said I have housing concerns up in the other part of the message. Hey, I can have housing concerns too, right? Or is that just a thing only for you? I'm laughing because I know that I'm dealing with something like we wrestle against not flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, and high places. When you focus that way, you stop looking at this person like, why are they doing? There's a portion of control that they have, and there's a portion of control that they don't. So we fight in the spirit, but we position ourselves in the natural. You know where I live and sleep, blah, 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 blah. And then she threatens the police to call the police. And I didn't say anything here because Holy Spirit told me to shut up. I was like, call him. I've already called him. Like, I'm on the phone with him saying I'm trying to keep the peace officer. But it's so tough right now because that's a low priority call when you got people fighting at gas stations and pulling out guns on each other for gas. It's a low priority call, so it takes a while to get there. Say, hey, enough. I'm not your supply. Let me move this down a little bit so you can see it. Enough. I'm not your supply. You've lost control. That is something that burns for whether it's a narcissistic person, someone with NPD, BPD, anyone who just wants to control. Say enough. That's my declaration. Enough. When I say enough, it's just like stop. I'm not going to even play. Enough. I'm not your supply. Hinting at I know what you are. I know what you're doing. I know what your game is. You're not getting me upset. I hope you understand that you're only getting yourself upset because they feed off of that hostility and that tension of people who are under that persuasion. I'm not your supply. You've lost control. Woo! I know that probably stung. It's like, no, I didn't. I'm still in control. I'm still in control. They need that control. That's a spiritual thing as well. Where are the children? Back to the basics, back to the facts. I'm not going off on all of these tangents, keeping it focused. That's how you communicate with someone who is presenting in this way. We are out, like I said the same thing over and over. The enemy has patterns. The enemy is not creative. The enemy will always do what it has done in the past. Now, when I say enemy, I'm not talking about her in the flesh. I'm talking about the enemy that is of our souls. This is honestly and ultimately a war between good and evil, light and dark, sin and fellowship with Christ. Those who are in fellowship with the adversary, the devil, and sin, they will constantly go against us who are in light and make the same patterned moves from of old to now. I'm going to call the police if you pass a third time. What's that going to do? Like, they're not going to come out. There's a guy who drove around the neighborhood 3 times. Like, okay, yeah, we've talked to this guy. He's looking for his kids. Where are they? But anyway, I kept my mouth shut. If you call 911, that would have been a benefit to me as well, because I could have then got the recording. But I didn't see this message as this was going on, and I went to go take care of some other matters. Nonetheless, my whole point here is wait on the Lord. War in the spirit. Position yourself, stand still, and you will see the salvation of the Lord who is with you. This is borderline alienation, the type of things that I have to deal with as well as other fathers. I'm just here to present you with hope and solutions. You cannot be a participant in light and darkness. The only thing that can walk in light and darkness at the same time is a shadow. You have to choose. And the only real way to win in this battle, if you don't want to spend thousands of dollars and 20 some odd years feeling like dealing with this, is to surrender your life to Christ. Surrender your life to Christ and have fellowship with him. Pray. War in the spirit, like spiritual warfare. We got the victory. And ask God to open and align your mind to his thoughts and his ways for you, so that when someone refuses to hand over the children, you'll be able to call them the next day on the iPad that's almost always blocked and get to hear, oh, mommy's not even here. And then you get to hear her grandparents in the background confirming what the children are saying, proving that they're not liars. With this episode, I guess you could call it a borderline alienation. The point is, be very direct when it comes to your communication. Don't give them any emotional response. I see a lot of dads in the groups that I'm involved with doing this emotional texting. Stop. Pretend for one moment that the person you're talking to isn't the person that you know. Pretend that that person has died long ago. You've already had your ceremony. You've mourned them. And now you're dealing with this new thing inside of it. Like if you were watching Ninja Turtles, like the Krang. Like you see this face here, but there's something else actually inside controlling it. Make sure you never, ever, ever give up on your kids. And the way that you can renew your strength is by waiting on the Lord. He will redeem the time. Remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And you can outlast the enemy, even if that enemy practices borderline alienation. I'll see you on the next one.